down in the DVD bargain bin heap, there is a movie at the bottom by your feet. You go past Killjoy, Holla, and Holla 2, and there you'll find Holla If I Kill You. It says you'll laugh, you'll scream, you'll die. But all this movie does is make me want to stab myself in my motherfucking eye. Horrible Horror Podcast is our name, and fucking up shitty horror movies is our game. So you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad and scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad and scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
Hey, what's up, Moon Goons? Holla!
Holla!
If you hear me. That's right. This week, let's get the introductions. We're the Horrible Horror Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Marshall Hampton. With me, as always, my buddy, Mr. Aaron Southworth.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm good. It's Mardi Gras.
It is Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras weekend.
And we're doing this a little different today. One, it's the earliest we've ever recorded. We're both kind of trying to wake up a bit and get going. And we got our morning drinks.
Yeah.
Pop those
Fuck
open.
coffee. We're still drinking.
Yeah, we're still drinking. Oh, there it is. All right, so anyway, yeah, it's Mardi Gras, but it's also the end of Black History Month.
Yep.
So we're doing our, we try to fit one in every year, or at least one every year. We're doing our urban black movie.
Our nod to black horror filmmakers.
Yeah.
Black horror films are, shitty black horror films.
Shitty black horror films.
We're not talking like Us or, other like good horror films that feature predominantly black cast members and makers and filmmakers. But, the horrible horror podcast level.
Yes. Which brings us to this week's movie, Holla If I Kill You. Now, unfortunately, this is not Holla 3.
Yeah.
I wish this was in the HCU, if you will, the Holla Cinematic Universe. That would be great, but it is not.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, come on, guys. There's not a lot of independent black horror movies.
No, there's not.
There's Holla 2, and now we have another Holla If I Kill You.
If I Kill You.
Let's get a little more
Diversity?
Yeah, let's get a little more creative here, guys.
Yeah. This gem was released straight to DVD on September
You think?
of 2003. Written by Jeff Carroll and John Polonia. Directed by John and Mark Polonia. Now, those names are famous in the micro-budget indie movie films, and they were last mentioned here on Horrible Horror.
Oh.
When we did Sharkenstein.
Oh, no shit.
They're the same people behind Sharkenstein.
Wow.
Yes. And a bunch of other shitty ones that we may be getting down to. We may actually start doing more Polonia Brother movies.
Well, I see they're spreading their wings, They're going beyond shark movies.
The only way to find this movie currently that I'm aware of is to purchase it on DVD from Amazon, which sadly I will admit I bought not one but two copies of this movie, one for me, one for Aaron.
Why?
Luckily they're only like $3 on Amazon right now.
It's worth every penny, let me tell you.
So we're going to talk about the cast real quick. Now, this movie is kind of like a Def Comedy Jam meets slasher horror movie.
Yes, that's a great way of putting it.
It's supposed to be a bunch of like Def Comedy Jam comedians, and I guess some people who were on early days of Comedy Central.
And for those of you who don't happen to know what Def Comedy Jam is, it was really prevalent during the 90s and early 2000s, but really during like the late 90s.
Late 90s, yeah.
Dude, Def Comedy Jam launched a career of like Bernie Mac, Martin Lawrence, Chris Rock was on Def Comedy Jam.
A lot of black comedians.
Tons of black comedians, like, prominent ones.
There was like 98% black comedians.
Yeah. I mean,
like every rarity you might see there'd be some white guy on there, maybe his Hispanic comedian, but mostly it was all black comedians.
It was never a white guy. They'd always have a person of color. Maybe there was a white guy here or there.
I'd say very,
but
very,
it was
very,
all
very
predominantly African Americans. Patrice O'Neill. Steve White. You know, it launched the careers of a lot of people.
Yeah. As Aaron said, it launched a lot of people's careers, but then there were the other people.
Yes. I mean, there was a lot of comics. There's a lot of comics.
And those other people are the ones that were in this movie. West Side Will is played by comedian Mike Yard. Energy is played by also another stand-up comedian named Will Sylvince. And Mike Africa is played by comedian Kareem Green. All three of them are former stand-up comics. All had, I guess, a cup of coffee on Def Comedy Jam,
and Comedy Central
and
kind of
just
things. Yeah,
washed off and just fell. Never heard of him again.
Couldn't quite get over the hump.
And if anything by the material in this movie, I can completely understand why. And lastly, our main girl in this movie, Rose, is played by Mia Davis. Again, not going to be a household name, but for those of you who grew up in the late 90s or 2000s watching like the college humor movies like American Pie, Can't Hardly Wait, and then the movie Road Trip, which was really big in like 2000.
Yeah.
She is most recognizable as Rhonda, the giant fat black chick in Road Trip who bangs the skinny, scrawny DJ Qualls in that movie.
Huh.
And then apparently she also used to be married to comedian Mike Yard, who is in this movie. So I guess they might have been married at the time of this. I don't know.
Maybe this is where they met. Maybe this is where their romance blossomed.
The spark started here.
Holla if I kill you.
But that's it for the cast. There's really nobody else worth mentioning or talking about, and even those people aren't even worth mentioning, really.
So our main character,
Holla,
he goes by the name Holla.
Or Holla back, but
and he's a big nobody.
Yeah, he wasn't even a comedian.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, don't say. I think he did one or two other movies, some other Polonius Brothers stuff, but no, nothing worth mentioning. So
yeah. It's a unique one, guys.
It's a unique one. Also, being this, you might have guessed from the opening intro. This is good. This is Aaron's gonna be running the show on this one this week, and we're just kind of alternating a little bit here to kind of save us some time and stress. So
with that being said, I will say this is my first time taking notes with a brand new beautiful baby girl.
Yeah, so we're not sure how long this episode is going to be or how well it's going to go. But
holy shit, is it hard to take notes when you have to pause it every 5 minutes to change a diaper, burp, feed, rock, play with, all that stuff. It took me over 3 hours to watch an hour and 18-minute movie.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I've done that.
Parenthood is no joke, man.
Yeah, you get a little taste of it now.
Fucking
what I had to deal with.
Is there a return policy on this kid? I joke.
Yeah, I think it's called the orphanage, basically. Or the black market, I guess.
I could make some good money for a white girl.
Yeah.
Healthy white girl, come on. Big money.
God, we're terrible. We are terrible people.
I'm not giving my baby away or selling her.
All right.
If the price is right,
I'll stop.
I'll stop. All right. So
let's get to Holla If I Kill You.
Holla If I Kill You. Yeah, let's jump into it. Like Marshall said, 2004.
2003.
2003. I thought
2003.
I could have swore it said 2004. Anyway, 2003. This is around the same time, if you remember back in the day, that I think it was right after Holla If I Kill You was released, that Kramer, Michael Richards, went crazy on stage and started dropping N-bombs left and right. Just this scorched this comedy club with N-bombs because some black people were on their phone or heckling him, and he just couldn't take it and went berserk. And that's kind of topical because it ties in with the opening. We open with kind of a man on the street interview going on with comedians,
other comedians,
other black comedians outside a club, and you can tell it's like raw footage. It's very, these people were not supposed to be part of a movie, or at least they were talking very much from the heart. Like, hey, how did you ever handle it when you were booed? It's like, oh, you can't take it personally.
So I didn't think about it was anything to do with the Kramer thing, but
no, it didn't. But it was just interesting that it was right around the same time. I don't think it had anything to do with the Kramer thing either. But it was just kind of like, oh shit, that was around the same exact time.
Yeah, okay.
And you hear these guys saying you can't take it personal. You can't. And they talk about how people ran into the crowds. And then they go to this one lady, Lady Caramel.
Caramel.
She called it Caramel.
Caramel.
Lady Caramel. She's pretty hot.
I love it. The subtitle is like Lady Caramel, hip hop hottie or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's all she's labeled as, is a hip hop hottie.
She's not a comedian. She's not like an agent. She's just a hip hop hottie.
I guess she's just like somebody who's like, yeah, like some ghetto.
She's just in the scene.
In the scene, hip hop hottie.
In the scene. And Lady Carmel's saying, yeah, I'll laugh at motherfuckers if they're not funny. I'll boo them. She lets them know that they need to be booed. More comedians talking about bombing, how horrible it feels getting booed, how some comedians give it back to the audience, kind of what we talked about. This goes on for 5-10 minutes. It goes on for a long time. But it really has no point, really. It doesn't really set the mood.
Loosely. It doesn't set the mood, but it
kind of gives you an idea that you're going to be working with comics. This is the type of movie you're going to be watching.
You're going to be working with comics and bad comics.
Yeah.
The whole premise is like you get booed and heckled.
Because we then cut to our main man, Holla. And Holla's laying in bed, just looking distraught, looking at his bills. He's hurting on rent, and boy, does he need a gig.
But this fucker lays in bed so much in this movie. Like, for the first, 10 minutes, once you get past the 5 minutes of raw footage, which is way too long for this movie, and then the next 5 minutes of this guy just laying in bed, I was like, is he paralyzed? Like, is this guy just going to lay in bed the entire movie? Because that's all he does. And he's kind of a narcissist. He literally has his own headshot
on the wall,
taped to the wall behind him. Just a black and white headshot of him. Just that's weird.
So he's hurting for gigs. So he calls up a promoter of a club owner, saying, "Hey, Holla is the shit. I'm gonna knock your socks off. You need to hire me on in your club." And the guy's like, "Hey man, you're gonna, if you're gonna be working here, you're gonna be at the bottom of the list, and you're gonna be opening for, Mike Africa." And he's like, "Man, he used to open for me. I used to be the big." It's like, yeah, you used to be good. So you kind of get this idea that Holla was a popular comic at one time, had some TV spots and was kind of popular, but he just hasn't done anything new. Kind of
according to the box, the blurb on the back, this guy was supposed to be the biggest comic in the world. Like, he was selling out like a Kevin Hart or Chris Rock. He was supposed to be the top of the world, the number one comedian anywhere, and then he just fell off. And he was so famous that rappers would put him in their songs. Rappers that were so hardcore that made Eminem look like Ski Low or something like that. And it was like, what?
I didn't read the box. I probably should have read the box.
But my point is that you never really get that idea from him.
You get the idea that he was probably on Sister.
Yeah, even if he wasn't,
or Family Matters.
He made a guy a little big, but he wasn't to say he was Chris Rock level or Kevin Hart. It's you never really get that, because even
if you ever reach that level, you're set for life.
Dave Chappelle,
you're set for life.
Dave Chappelle isn't going to call me he can call up anybody and be like, "Hey, I want a gig." Yeah, your headline, sure, yes, not well, sorry, Dave, but we got Joe Schmo over here.
You got to open from Michael Africa.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Fuck you." So
to which Holla he's pissed off about it, but he's like, "I'll prove to you that Holla is the shit," and he's coming back. At that point, we cut to a gloved hand, kind of mystery guy, giving a phone call, and he's speaking in a wacky voice, like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he calls up Holla.
Very deep throat, Mr. X like.
Yeah, and he's calling up Holla, and he's ripping his act. He's like, "Your act is whack, motherfucker." And Holla's like, "Who is this? What you doing calling me?" And it just says, "Worry about yourself, or you might die laughing." So we have an antagonist. We have Holla, who's trying to get a gig, and then immediately gets a phone call.
Immediately
gets a phone call from someone saying, "Your act is shit, motherfucker. Watch out, you're gonna die." Huh? Okay.
Less than 2 seconds after he gets off the phone, and it's ringing.
So it hangs up, and then we see that gloved hand in a trench coat reveals a treasure trove of murder toys.
Oh, God.
And plays with an axe. So it's kind of stroking an axe and wiggling it around.
Again, these scenes take for a movie that's like, say, it's only like an hour, 15 minutes long. They pad the shit out of these scenes.
Fuck yeah,
it's so long of them like finding this axe and then a machete and then like a meat cleaver.
Yeah.
And then they find all the axe some more and stroke the axe some more and stroke the axe some more. It's
get
like,
it.
God. And they keep close about the axe, which, by the way, is really dull looking.
Yeah, and it's like fade shot.
Yeah, it's like, oh, God, enough.
Well, finally we cut away from that, and we go to the Wanna Laugh Comedy Club. Here, it looks like the show's over, the club is closed, and the janitors walk around bitching like, motherfuckers, dirty motherfuckers. And then he starts making fun of Holla.
Yeah.
He starts like, why the hell's Holla here? Holla, Holla, what a piece of shit. You know, just like
Holla's not even there.
This guy's by himself cleaning.
He's all by himself.
Just bitching about working and Holla. He hates Holla.
Apparently. Like, there's really no, because it's not like Holla performed that night. Or
we never saw him open or anything. Yeah.
He's just going on a Holla rant.
Bitching about Holla.
Reason. At a club, it's quote-unquote club that looks more like a fucking Knights of Columbus or VFW
Right, it's
hall.
like, it's exactly.
It's
exactly.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's just a big white box of a room.
Yeah. So, yeah, it looks like someone is spying on the janitor from behind the bar as he cleans. So we got like a POV shot kind of peeking up and looking at the janitor. There's a glass that breaks and the janitor kind of gets spooked. He's like, who's there, motherfucker? Come on out. I'm going to call 5-0. Who says 5-0 anymore? When's the last time you heard 5-0?
Black guys in movies, I guess.
From 2000?
5-0.
It's just been a long time since I heard 5-0.
I agree. Yeah.
When I heard that, I was like... So the lights go out, and you see him saying, he's like, it's closed. He's getting scared. As he's looking around, kind of just trying to see what's going on, we see an axe raised behind him, and as he turns around, we get a silhouette shot of the janitor getting his motherfucking head chopped off.
Oh,
damn.
God damn it.
This was some cheesy ass effects with this dude getting his head cut off.
This head decapitation is right up there as some of the worst I've ever seen. Oh my God. And the part that makes it so bad, which they shouldn't even have done, is when they show the after effect.
Yes.
Like, if you just want to show it in silhouette, the head coming off and be done, fine, that probably would have saved it. But when they for some reason decided to show a close-up of like the bloody stump, that's where they lose it, because it's, oh my God, it may be one of the worst I've ever seen.
For a cheap movie, I mean, obviously they have no budget.
Right.
And to be perfectly honest, when they cut to the silhouette and you saw the axe actually whack off the head, the janitor's got a hat on backwards, and you just see a silhouette of a head with a hat on backwards. Yeah. Obviously, it's a mannequin.
Right.
But it's probably some shitty cheap man. It's nothing like him. Mm-hmm. And it looked passable.
That's what I'm saying. It's passable. Just leave it at that.
And then they threw blood on the wall, and they should
have left it alone.
Have left it there, because then they pan down to a bloody neck stump of... I don't know if it's like a ham stuffed in a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
It just looks really bad.
It's so bad. Like, I don't even know how to begin to describe this thing.
The cherry on the cake is next.
Yeah.
Go for it. You want to describe that?
No, go by.
Is basically, it's the actor laying down on the floor, and they digitally splice his head off, but they don't do it cleanly because parts of the floor are uneven, and it's obviously like his head is... They took like a screenshot of his head from this point, took it out and put it on the film, but it doesn't match up with any of the surrounding background.
No.
So like the floor is kind of on the wall, and it just looks so bad. So bad. And it looks like they even tried to like use Microsoft Office or Paint and put in like red streaks.
Yeah.
I'm like,
oh,
whoa!
Yeah,
that I haven't seen before.
No,
that's a first.
It's so bad. They should have just left it at the silhouette, and it'd be like pass them. Like, okay, it's because it'd be like, okay, it's low budget, do what they can. But man, they just made it so much worse for themselves when they showed.
Yeah,
the
so that's our first kill. Janitor getting his head cut off. So then we cut back to the gloved guy playing with his murder toys, and then we have the opening credits roll. So we were in 12 minutes into this movie, and then we have the opening credits roll, which is some long-ass, choppy crap credits that are like Sega CD quality.
Yeah.
So
bad.
Yeah.
And a terrible rap song about this is something art, like, this shit... Or this here is revolutionary art. This style is revolutionary art. And it's just like that for like 10 minutes of that line over and over and over again. It's like, it's terrible. It's fucking terrible.
I'm glad you picked up on that, because phase it out, man.
It's awful.
Just let it flow right through me. Man, it's really bad. So we go back to Holla, who's, again, still laying in his bed. And people are cracking up, laughing, and he's in his mind. He's reminiscing. And he's reminiscing, I guess, it's like, Holla, you're so funny, yeah, woo! They're laughing, and it's like, welcome Holla to the stage! And people are laughing and cracking up, and like, he's kind of reminiscing about how great it was. And he's just looking at the stuff on his wall. And then the phone rings, and it's Fat Ass Rose calling to lay down some game. Thick game. She calls and talks about how she's basically laying on about as thick as peanut butter can be.
Yeah.
About how she wants to make a booty call and how she wants Holla's dick.
About as thick as she is.
No shit, man. Honestly, not bad. She's a very pretty girl. But boy, she's thick. So he talks about how, but Holla's kind of bitching. He's kind of, you get the idea that they're friends. He's like, look, I don't want sex. We can be friends. That's cool. I like you, but we're just going to be friends. He's talking about how, he's not getting work and how he used to be a big comedian and how he's going to move to L.A. and resurrect his career. But Rose is like, but I ain't going to see you no more and I can't give you no more booty calls. To which he is like, let's just be friends. And he hangs up. And as soon as he hangs up, guess who he gets a call from? Mystery Man calls again and makes a new threat for him to stop telling corny jokes because you're a pain in the ass. You know what you lack? You lack a hemorrhoid. What?
Yeah.
You a pain in the ass. See, that's a joke. That's funny. Yeah. To which Holla just looks at the phone and goes, man, and hangs up.
This fucking movie.
We're 20 minutes into the movie, and Holla finally leaves his place.
I know, that's what I'm saying, like, because the first two scenes of him are him on the bed. That's like, is this fucker ever going to leave his bedroom or get off the bed?
This movie is, if you cut it into sequence, it's 5 sections of 20 minutes. So one-fifth of the movie.
It's just him laying
in bed.
Look at his own headshot on the wall, talking on the phone.
Talking on the phone, getting threats and booty calls. Holla!
Excuse me. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. So he's finally walking down the street, and he comes across this billboard?
Yeah.
He comes to the club, and they use that same effect where they digitally cut out the guy's head, but here they digitally cut out a fake billboard. Yeah. It looks better, but it still looks like shit.
Yeah.
Again, dude, Night Trap from Sega CD has got miles on this. It's juxtaposed on the wall, and it says Michael Africa opening tonight. It's the club. It's the Wanna Laugh Comedy Club, and he sees Michael Africa as the opening act, and he's looking at it going, motherfucker, goddamn it. And then he fantasizes seeing himself up there. It says, Holla, 2 shows all sold out, and he's like, yeah, that's going to be me. That's going to be me. I'm going to be back.
I like the reference of Night Trap, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Great.
Don't get caught in the
Night Trap.
So we
Night Trap.
That's a good one. We cut to the comedy club, and here we have comics doing their thing. The crowd's laughing. Comedians are doing crowd work. This is where we get...
You mean the 6-person audience?
Yeah.
The audience of 6 people?
Yeah.
Which is... I don't know if you comment on this later, but I'm going to say, like, remember, this takes place over the course of several weekend nights with this movie.
Right.
And it's the same 6 people in the crowd every single time.
And it's the same footage.
And they're wearing the same clothing every single time.
Every single
so
time.
Bad.
And it's pretty bad. But, they're trying to show that it's a crowd. And this is where we get subjected to... I guess if you kind of like take the movie, this is... One half of the movie is stand-up comedy, like 1/3 of the movie is stand-up comedy. The other 2/3 of the movie is the actual story.
Yeah.
And this is where we get subjected to a lot of stand-up comedy. We get like 2 or 3 acts in a row doing like a tight 5.
Yeah. Tight 5. It's like this is their audition tape or something like that, man. It's so bad. It's so boring.
And it's not good.
It's not good at all.
There's like 1 or 2 things where I'm like, it's kind of funny. But, and also in context, also with this movie, the sound quality is really bad.
Oh, it's terrible.
And they don't have subtitles.
No.
There was no subtitles because I wanted to keep it kind of low and have subtitles on while my daughter slept while I did this. And I just couldn't, I had to turn it up. And Maybe that's why she kept waking up. She's like, turn this fucking movie off.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of this crowd work, a lot of these comedians, and the crowd seems pumped. The crowd is like, they're laughing at everything. So Holla comes out to a warm crowd, and they're happy. He's like, hey, what's up? I'm Holla. And they're like, yeah, Holla, all right. But then he just fucking starts bombing.
Yeah. Well,
And,
like his whole thing, like, okay, you're right. They came when he first comes out. They're all hot because the warm up act, Mr. Energy, gets him warmed up with his shit. It was his shitty set, and then come up Holla, and I was like, hey, and they're all happy. He's like, all right, Holla back. He's like, Holla. He's like, all right, Holla back, Holla. And he does that for like. He keeps going.
You can tell
on
they start getting tired of it. They're like, all right,
okay. And then he goes into his.
He's trying to do
material quote unquote.
Like, so knock knock, who's there? Hey, why is your mama fat? Because she's fat.
Holla! He's like, Holla!
And everyone's, boo!
Yeah.
And that's when the boo birds come out. I did like, why is your mama fat? Because she's fat. I don't know. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. But then it starts getting booed and booed and booed, and he gets booed off stage.
Yep.
The MC, or Energy, comes back out, and he says, Holla sucks. Holla does not reflect the views of One Left Comedy Club, which I thought was kind of funny.
Energy's not the host. He's just the opening act.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
but the host for the night comes back.
The MC comes back, and he's killing Holla.
Yeah.
And he says he sucks, and that he's, hey, we're sorry we had him up here. We then see the gloved mystery person creeping around in the club. So Holla is backstage. He's sulking. He's all pissed. He's like, man, I suck. And he kind of hears someone creeping. He hears it, and he's like, what the fuck? Who's back here? It cuts back to the stage, and that's when we see the comedian Mike Africa, who talks like this man, like he's like,
I guess it's supposed to be, but it's almost more a thick Jamaican accent,
almost,
not African.
yeah.
But
It's definitely a very thick,
very, very
accent. Thick. He's got African style. He's got the dashiki kind of. He got the hat, and I got the dashiki on.
Yep.
Sunglasses.
A dashiki under a leather jacket.
Yes. Thank you. You got to have that Western style.
Got that black leather jacket over a dashiki with the Africa hat.
And he's doing his routine. His big joke is about how a deaf man booed him. And he just goes on and on and on with that, and it's not. Well,
they're trying to play off the fact that Holla got booed. He's like, you boo him. He's like, you boo me. I got booed by a deaf man, but or something like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff.
But he's also ripping Holla apart, and the crowd's loving Michael Africa tearing Holla apart, just tearing him apart. So his act racks up, and Michael Africa is backstage signing autographs. There's some white nerdy guy.
The only white guy
who's not shown in the crowd. He must have been standing way in the back.
Yeah, I'm going to say there's 3 white people in this entire movie: the club owner, the bartender, and then this
guy,
jalopy.
This guy looks like he was your 7th grade girlfriend's dad.
Yeah, and he's never seen any of the crowd shots. You're right. He's just there doing this.
He's like in his late 30s, early 40s. Big mustache. Just doesn't know how to dress. But Michael Africa was cool with him. He's like, yeah, man, thanks for the show. All right, come on. And Holla tries to get on this too. Holla's like, yeah, let me sign some pictures for you too. And they're like, no, whoa, no, thank you. So Holla gets shot down. They show Michael Africa backstage, and this happens a lot in the movie. They don't show you what they're trying to do. They just straight up tell you. Like, where are my keys? I'm looking for my keys. Hold on, where are my keys? I cannot find my keys. It's like, dude, just pat your pockets, look around and go, fuck, where are my keys? Instead of beating us about the head and shoulders, and boy, he cannot find his keys.
He cannot. We
see the glove hand. The mystery person in the trench coat and the gloves, we see their hand shaking the keys, and it's like a fucking janitor-sized ring of keys. How many fucking keys does Michael Africa need? Jesus Christ, there's so many fucking keys. Just shaking and shaking as Michael Africa hears it, and he's looking around. We cut back to the promoter, which is looking for a fucking booty call. It doesn't really matter because it just cuts right back to Michael. Why did you do that? Why did they do that? Why did they cut to this guy asking for a booty call, and then it cuts right back to Mike? Like, the killer is there. The killer is taunting Michael Africa. Let's cut away
I know.
for a shitty joke about some white guy trying to get some thick black girl ass, Not funny.
Yeah.
Not funny. Bad move.
So the whole movie's a bad move, so who knows?
So we go back to Michael Africa trying to find his keys, following the noise. He's looking around, and then he turns. He's standing in front of phone booths. Blast in the past. Yeah, he's standing in front of some phone booths, and he turns around. And when he turns around, we have a POV shot looking at Michael Africa of the killer, and holds up a kitchen knife or a butcher knife up by their, I guess it would be like by their face, because it's where the camera is.
Yeah.
So if it's a POV shot, the person would be holding this under their chin, basically.
Yeah.
And goes running forward at Michael Africa, going, no, man, no. And then, bam, runs right into his neck, stabs Michael Africa in the neck. There's blood shooting out. It's not horrible, but it's cheap indie. It looks a hell of a lot better than the head chop off.
Yeah, but it's not great, but yeah, it's better than that.
Yeah. So stabs him in the neck. It's not great, but we got our second kill. So the promoter is pissed because his booty call is late, so he calls a different one.
This movie's so funny, man. I can't even get over it.
So then we cut to a girl who's walking through the club. So the club's empty.
Yeah.
And there's no indication that she works there. There's no indication that she has any affiliation there. She was probably just there in the club watching. And she decides to also tell the audience, "Oh, I need to call my sister." Instead of kind of going, instead of being like, "Oh God," just kind of looking like she's, or looking at her watch and going, because you wouldn't stop and say, "I need to call Aaron."
No,
you wouldn't do that. So she goes.
The writing is it's
really,
so amateurish.
Yeah.
It's so like high school. I wrote better things than this in high school.
Right.
Whoever wrote, Jeff Carroll, I think was his name, and
it's pretty
Polonia,
bad.
But Jesus.
So she goes to the phone booth, and there she finds Michael Africa's body dead. We then cut to the cops running a stupid CSI-style discovery of the body.
Oh,
it's looks like the joke's on him.
Yeah. The quote-unquote detectives are terrible.
It's really bad. But the promoter, he's excited.
Yes.
He's excited. He is like, this is great. This is the best thing that could happen in this club. The club is going to blow up. He's like, this is where you die laughing. This is the only club in town that has actual murder. This is going to get so much exposure.
I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be so much money. And before he says that, the cops are like, yeah, we got no suspects, no leads. We got nothing. And then up comes the owner, the promoter, saying, "Oh, this is great. I'm going to make so much money." Like, motherfucker, you just became suspect number one. You just made yourself suspect number one by saying how great this is, and you're going to make so much money off of this. Are you kidding me?
Good God.
You say that in front of the cops? I'm like, Jesus Christ. But these fucking cops are like,
okay.
All right, whatever. Yeah,
what a jerk.
Yeah, what a jerk. I don't think they even say that. There's like,
okay,
whatever. It's so bad. It's the worst.
So we cut back to Holla at home in bed. Again, wearing the same clothes he's been wearing before in the bed.
Yes.
And he gets a phone call from Fat Ass Rose again. And Rose starts telling Holla about the murders. And, he's like, "Oh, shit, Michael Africa was killed. Oh, man, that sucks." He's like, "Well, you didn't quite like him. He used to open for you, and then he fucking ripped you apart on stage. How late did you stay after the club?" He's like, "Are you telling me I'm the murderer? Are you suspecting me?" She's like, "I don't know. You had a rough relationship with him." So they're trying to put a red herring that Holla might have killed.
Yeah.
And Holla ain't having it. So there's a musical driving montage, which lasts for about 2 minutes, which is awful. I think they're in New Jersey. Anyway. Because it's close to New York. I think they're in Jersey. Anyway, we cut to the promoter, and he's telling his comics about how much hype the club is going to be getting. Everyone needs to be on point. Everyone's jokes, new material. Everyone needs to be really sharp because this is good. This is the best thing that's happened.
And he's also saying new material, but he wants them to talk about the murder in the material. Like, you guys got to play this up. You got to talk about. You got to hype up the murder. Like, we're the only club in town that has a murder and blah blah blah. I mean, he's really makes himself out to be makes it work what? But again, nobody's even remotely suspicious. Yeah, okay, sure, I guess we can
cool,
do that.
Man. Yeah.
All right.
So Holla is hearing all this, and he starts talking to the bartender, trying to make bad jokes. And the bartender turns out to be funnier than him.
Yeah.
And Holla's just like, damn, bartender's funnier than me. I kind of like that. The bartender says, I think the promoter did it. You know, the bartender's leaning towards the promoter. So, you know, we're kind of starting to get like, who's the killer? Is the promoter? Is it Holla? So the night begins at the club, and then we are subjected to more stand-up. And yeesh, it's just long, more stand-up.
It's so long, and again, it's bad. Like it's so bad. It's so bad. It's terrible. I mean, it goes on so long, and
so
it's just
remember,
not funny.
these are the failed comedians of Def Comedy Jam and Comedy Central on an indie horror movie doing improv stand-up relating to this murder. So it's really bad.
Yeah. And again, it's the exact same 6 people in the crowd wearing the exact same clothing they did like a week before. And it's just...
we see Holla backstage. He gets a call from the mystery person, but he doesn't answer. So why do we even see that? They show the mystery person calling him. He looks at his phone. He's like, nope. Why do we even see that? The MC brings up Holla. And Holla, you know, again, the crowd's like, all right, Holla, all right. And of course, he just bombs again.
Of course.
Just bombs. And this is where Lady Caramel finally comes back. And she's leading in the boo. She's like, Holla, get your corny ass off the stage. Boo! And they're all like, Lady Caramel, like, LC. And Holla goes backstage. I will say, though, the next comedian that came up, I actually kind of liked. I thought he was okay. He did kind of this is what would Bernie Mac would be like if he was on the Starship Enterprise. And I don't know, for some reason I thought that was kind of good. Out of all the stand-up, that was the one that made me kind of chuckle a little bit. Anyway, more stand-up. We see a point of view, again, creeping in the club, and it's spliced in with stand-up. And it's just point of view, like someone creeping through the club, stand-up, creeping through the club, stand-up. And that's it. We cut to the next morning.
Yeah.
And then we have Lady Caramel, and she's talking with the bouncer of the club, and he's
oh yeah, the owner hired a bouncer.
Yeah.
For not so much because he thought he was gonna be so big, so popular that people were gonna be, you know, basically fighting or something to get to the show.
Need to crowd control
these folks, even though it's only 6 people.
Yeah. And he's a big dude, but
Joey B or something like that is his name.
Big guy, and he's there, and he's talking with Lady Caramel, and I don't know, I don't know if the sound quality was good or not, but from what I gathered, and please help me out here, is that she told the bouncer to get some guy to come to the car and fuck her.
Yes,
or they were gonna rob.
No. It was she
was like prostitution.
Yeah, I don't know if it was prostitution. She's basically looking for a booty. Like, I want to get a hookup. I need you to go find me like one of the comedians or one of them. You know, send one of the man out here to my car so we could shoot. Yeah, it was a.
I couldn't quite make it. Like, why don't you fuck her then, bouncer?
Yeah. Exactly. Like, yeah,
you know?
all right, I'll bang you. Sure.
Yeah, but he's like, sure, I'll go find you some guy for the house. I did not understand it. I don't know. The sound quality was bad.
No, you got it right the first time.
She speaks with a pretty thick accent, you know, or, you know, just kind of, what's up, motherfucker? You know, like, so it's kind of hard to understand, especially with the sound quality.
No, it's just...
So I didn't quite understand it, but anyway,
again, the hip-hop hottie is looking for a hookup. And it's so funny that I don't understand why they call her hip-hop hottie, because there's... Nobody in this movie has anything to do with hip-hop music. It's not like she's hanging on to hip-hop music.
It's comedians.
Yeah. She's not doing, like, rap videos. She's not dancer videos. She's not hanging out recording. She's hanging out. She's going to comedy club stand-up performances.
And ripping bad comics.
And heckling.
Yeah.
She's... maybe she should be called, like, the heckler hottie or something like that, right?
Hip-hop heckler hottie.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing with hip-hop anything to do with her in this movie at all.
Yeah. So she goes and waits in a car. The bouncer finds some dude to go hook up with Lady Caramel. And she's waiting, but boy, she can't wait. She's got to get that puss pounded, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
She steps out and she's looking like, where's my man? Where's my man? She steps out looking around.
Where's my stunt dick?
And then we see a POV of the killer come rushing up out of like the train tracks by the parking lot. Like, she's obviously outside. The person's obvious. Lady Caramel's outside.
Yes.
There's no indication of where this killer came from. It just appeared and buries a meat cleaver into the neck of Lady Caramel, and she screams, but it's too late. Cleaver in the neck, and we get more of those Sega CD effects kind of spliced in with her, with the cleaver in the neck, and she falls out of screen. Lady Caramel's dead. Back at Holla's, he dreams of murder weapons and the crowd heckling him. Why he's dreaming of the person stroking murder weapons, I don't know, but so be it.
I guess it's supposed to try to plant the seed more that he
may be the killer.
Yeah.
Holla wakes up from a call from the mystery person and says he's cutting through all the comedians, and tonight will be more killings, and Holla better keep his mouth shut. Why would you call him and tell him then? Jesus goddamn Christ.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna be cutting through the competition, killing all the comedians. You better keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, don't say anything. I know. It's like, why would you call and say that in the first place? If you don't, like, what? Just don't call.
What's red smells and is dead. All you assholes when I'm killing you.
Best.
So
That's
horrible.
The best one of all. Red and Stinky.
Oh, Stinky. Yeah. What's Stinky? Red and dead.
Stinky dead. Oh, you assholes.
Ugh. Jesus Christ.
It's so stupid.
We go back to the club where the bartender is talking with thick-ass Rose about Holler, and she is smitten. Oh, I love Holler. He's funny. He's fine-ass man. I love Holler. He is so sexy. The bartender, he tries to get in them big-ass thick legs, but she is not having. He's like, well, what about a bartender? I'm pretty funny, too. She's like, I like a man that laughs. You just pour drinks. The bouncer comes in. He's like, hey, this guy's got much more money than Holla does. Yeah. He's more of a man than he is. And they get into a whole, like, diatribe back and forth, all three of it. It's if it was written, they performed it well. I think it was all impromptu, and it was actually not too bad.
No,
it wasn't.
It's
wasn't
not
horrible.
terrible.
No.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's kind of funny, and they kind of give it to each other, and it's hard to like keep track of because you're going so fast.
Yeah,
everyone's just talking so fast. It was pretty funny. We cut to a fake commercial of the promoter plugging the club.
Oh yeah. I forgot about this one.
So the promoter's like, come on down to Wanna Laugh where you'll die laughing. We just had a recent murder of Michael Africa, and we're just going to make sure that we're slashing through comedy specials, blah, blah, blah. You'll die laughing.
It's the worst commercial.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I think even curses in it. I'm like, what? Come on. Like, what? That's not going to get aired.
Right.
Like, come on.
So they're at the comedians are at the club with the promoter, Holla, the MC, another comedian, and the promoter Energy.
Yeah.
Are all watching, and the bartender, they're all watching TV. So, and then while they're watching TV, they cut to an actual TV show called We're Talking, You're Listening.
Yeah. This is your fucking public access, like, wannabe talk show in someone's basement.
Where this guy is interviewing a comedian, a supermodel, and a DJ.
Yes.
About the murder of Michael Africa, and in the process, they start ripping Holla apart too.
Yeah.
It's like, that comedian Holla, why didn't they kill him? That guy hasn't done anything funny in 10 years. And Holla's watching this. Everyone's laughing at Holla. But then they go to the DJ who's actually plugging his own album in the movie. It's this actual DJ. They show his CD, which is a real CD. They open it up. They're looking at it. They're like, look, check out these tracks. This track is about this. This is something. This guy's trying to sell his fucking CD in his indie horror movie. Not bad idea.
No.
Not a horrible idea.
No, I
wish I would have looked him up. I wish I would have taken the time and seen if he actually had any sort of success.
I was going to say, is this guy real then, or did it just have a...
I mean, shit, there's local artists all over the place. I'm sure he was just a local artist who was like, yeah, I'll be in a movie. Can I plug my album?
Yeah, I guess,
maybe. So, yeah.
I didn't look it up either, but I
kind of loved it, but it was so cheesy. I kind of loved it. Yeah. The comedians talk about comedian rivalry, how it is coming up in the industry. Once you get high up in level, it doesn't seem to be any bad blood, but while you're trying to make it, it's cutthroat. Then there's a supermodel for some reason.
Yeah, like the panel is so
like
kind of random.
It's a
like
supermodel, DJ, and comedian.
Not even a supermodel.
That's what it says. Supermodel.
Does it? I know it's like he's like an underwear model or something like that, and he's just like it's one of those things like which one of these things doesn't belong here? Like,
right.
What? Who the fuck cares what this guy has
and
to
then
say? And he's terrible.
Yeah.
He's so. Oh my god.
He's just a pretty face, Marshall.
I guess, but man, he's so bland and so terrible in this movie, and he's just like, you can tell he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Doesn't know what's going on. And then the host of the show goes, and let's go talk to some comedians on the street. Then we get the same exact footage, different questions, but the same exact footage and people they were talking to
it's the
at the
beginning
of the movie.
Yeah,
at the very beginning of the movie, they're again talking about being heckled. And oh my fucking god!
And
it's just
there's
awful.
One white comedian, and he's like older. He's like in his 50s or 60s.
He's like part owner of the Apollo Theater, which is a very historic black entertainment.
Yeah.
Like they have music, comedy shows, all that stuff.
Rub
there.
the Stump
Still,
and all that.
It used to be on NBC.
I remember watching like
after Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, exactly.
Live from the Apollo. Yeah, and they had the Apollo dancers and everything. Yeah, it was pretty entertaining. And like whenever someone bombed, Mr. Sandman would come out and sweep him off the stage.
Yeah.
They'd be like, boo. And this guy dressed like kind of like Homie the Clown, almost like influence Homie the Clown. Dressed like a clown would like come out with a broom and be like sweeping him off, like sweeping him at their feet, like get off the stage. Mr. Sandman would come and sweep you out.
But I don't even know what's worth mentioning, but the host of this fake talk show is also a comedian who performed at the comedy club like the night before they showed this talk show footage.
Yeah, you're right. So he's playing he's got range.
It's like if Jay Leno or David Letterman or somebody was like suddenly popped up at like your local Funny Bone or something like that and did a set and then went back to record the Tonight Show or something. That's basically what this was.
Pretty lofty aspirations, but yeah, I get what you're saying. So, and before they sign off, they still keep talking shit about Holla.
Yeah.
Which, again, is pretty funny. Holla's hurt, and he promises to kill tonight. Holla calls someone who doesn't answer.
That is exciting cinema.
So weird.
Holy crap. I mean, come on. Like, you can't get better than that.
I know.
That is so dramatic and tense. So tense. Like, jeez. Oh. Fuck you, Schindler's List. Give me this.
Holla's backstage, and he's kind of throwing a fit, getting upset. And we see POV, more, point of view, POV of of creeping in the club. We cut to the bartender cleaning. Clearly two different times of day.
Yes.
The POV creeping is definitely at night. It's dark. It's at nighttime. And the bartender cleaning, it's day. There's shadows on the wall. Like, it's really bad. We cut to more POV of creeping. Then we cut to Energy and the MC smoking a joint in the blatantly daytime. The sun's shining. They're outside smoking a joint. More POV creeping. I'm like, okay, what are they doing? They're showing the bartender. They're showing Holler. They're showing creeping. They're showing the comedians. Something's going on. We see Holla backstage, and he's kind of got his hands in his head. He's looking all distraught. And we see the mystery man come up behind Holla, lead pipe raised, and comes down on the back of Holla's head, knocking him out. We cut to the bartender. He's talking, man, I hope it's busy now. I hope I make some money. He's cleaning some shit at the bar. And we see a hand, the gloved hand in the trench coat, reach over, grab a microphone with cord, and comes up behind the bartender and starts to strangle him with such force that it's causing his neck to bleed, and he strangles him, and suddenly he gets a pair of glasses. Did you notice that?
Yes.
He had no glasses on as he starts getting strangled, and they show his dead body with the microphone stuffed into his mouth, and he has a pair of, like, shooting glasses on? They have that yellowy tint?
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, it's bad, but like, oh my, I kind of loved it because it's so stupid.
It's just so bad.
I'm looking at our mic cords right now, and My God, to try to
They're thick.
somehow to
and
try to dig this into somebody's neck and make it bleed like to the point where like going cut sever a head is I can't like you have to be like the Incredible Hulk,
right?
And at that point, you're just gonna
gonna break.
You're just gonna pop the guy's head off before
or you're gonna snap the cord.
Yeah, like, there's no way, but you could do that. But yeah, then they just shove the microphone down the mouth and he just lays there on the floor like my God.
With a new pair of glasses.
Yeah, with some blood trickling out. It's oh God.
Yeah,
it's so bad, but I love it.
And they cut over to the gloved hand caressing the axe again. That same footage we saw of the caressing him act. We cut to the bouncer who's walking through the club, and he's looking for the bartender. He's like, "Hey, bartender!" He even goes, "Bartender, where you at, bartender?"
Yeah.
The guy doesn't have a name.
Yeah, you would think if you worked it, you would know your bartender's name.
Hey,
like,
Mike.
Mike.
Yeah.
Dan.
Right.
Dan, where you at, Dan? Not bartender.
Bartender. Where are you, bartender?
Jesus Christ.
So, bouncer is looking for bartender.
Yes.
Neither one of them have names. Bouncer and bartender. So he's looking around for him, and we see the mystery man come up behind the bouncer. He turns around and goes, "Ah!" And it's too late. The axe is buried into the bouncer's head. We see the axe come down, more blood thrown on the wall, and then we get a shot of the bouncer with the axe in the side of his head. Probably the best looking effect.
Yeah,
honestly. Probably the best looking one. It's not that bad. Next, we see the mystery man's gloved hand caressing a shotgun. Basically a toy shotgun.
Yeah, you can see it's shiny plastic.
Yeah.
You can see how plastic this thing is.
It's pretty bad. We cut to the two comedians outside smoking weed, and it's hard to hear. You can hardly hear anything.
If they're outside, I think they're supposed to be like in the green room, just hanging out, getting ready.
They're like on the side of the building.
I know.
Yeah.
In real life,
Yeah,
they're just up against the wall outside the
You
building.
can hear like traffic in the background.
Yeah, but I think they're supposed to be in the green room.
There's birds chirping and the wind blows. And it's really hard to. They're just talking about smoking weed. Man, I love smoking weed. Smoking weed. Smoking weed. Smoking weed. Okay. And then we just hear boom. Mystery Man blows the two weed smoking comedians away. We get like close ups of their face. The shotgun shooting out bullets.
Yeah, West Side Will is the first one to get shot, and then they shoot
Energy. Yeah. Oh, is the MC named West Side Will?
No, I thought he was one of the comedians. He might be the
whatever.
MC. I think he's like the MC and like
opening. Yeah.
And,
well, MCs often have a little set.
Yeah. But yeah, West Side Will and Energy.
Yeah. So boom, they're dead. So we're on a killing spree here. We knocked out Holla. We killed the bartender. We killed the bouncer. We killed the two comedians.
But can we talk about the kill effect here? Like they've all been bad. Like they've all been 100% bad. But this one may be the worst because again, like they're getting shot basically at point blank range with a sawed off shotgun.
Right.
And so you like, bam, okay, they're dead. Just do yourself a favor. Don't show the dead body afterwards if you don't have the money or the effects or the know-how to pull something like this off because
it looks like they just smeared red jello on his face.
Yeah, it's like they took cherry pie or something like that and just here's some cherry pie over your left eyeball. You get shot point blank. You're not going to have a head left to show. But they show. It's just like it looks more like they just stabbed him in the eye with like a knitting needle or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just over one eye, and it's supposed to be a shotgun blast to the head, and it just don't show that shit. But man, all right, go on. I'm sorry, I said it's so bad.
It's really bad.
It's so bad.
The promoter hears this and pops his head out of the office, and he's pissed that someone's messing around with guns. How dare they be doing this on opening night? We're going to have a big night tonight. Why are they messing with guns? And he just goes back into his office.
Well, apparently, like this is because they're all, I guess, black and ghetto or urban. Like apparently, they all.
This is a thing.
This thing, like they carry, Glocks with them or something like that. They shoot them off, and they've done it before. Like they shoot the guns off inside, and he's like told them not to or something like this. So he's
not too alarmed.
Yeah. So that's not, stereotypical and racist there, but all right.
Holla wakes up and his head is killing him. He's confused. He's like, oh, he's looking around. The promoter goes to shit out Chinese food.
Yep. Which makes a big, that Chinese.
Oh, them damn enchiladas. That would have been better if he would have done that.
Yeah.
That's another black horror movie star. Demon from Friday the 13th Part 5. made more an impact for black horror than this fucking movie.
Yeah.
And he went to go shit enchiladas.
Ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby.
Bitch, you gonna get it. I can just talk more demon all night.
Yeah, it's like demon. Fuck it.
So, he goes to shit his Chinese. We get a shot of the killer caressing a meat cleaver. Guess what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
I thought this was an opportunity for something maybe kind of funny, where you kick down the door and you have the promoter there shitting on the toilet and he gets an axe to that. Okay, toilet kills can always be pretty fun.
Yeah.
But nope, the promoter comes out of the bathroom and he goes, I just feel so good, like I beat the Lakers.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Like, what?
It's weird.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, all right. Sure.
But when he comes out of the bathroom, he sees someone creeping around and he's like, oh shit, I'm going to call the cops. And he runs over to the payphone and the payphone's not working. So he's like, okay. He runs to his office and that phone is not working. The phones are dead.
Yep.
We cut back to Holla and he goes, "Ba-da-pow!" and just runs out of the club. He's gone. Holla just runs away.
Yeah, he wakes up and is like, yeah, I'm out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. We see the promoter.
Honestly, that's the one smart thing.
Yeah,
in this
he got
movie that
knocked
makes
out.
sense.
He
Like,
woke up.
I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm gone.
Yeah. We cut back to the promoter who's sneaking around, looking around the club, creeping, looking for some, he sees someone kind of shuffling around. He's looking for the killer. When out of nowhere, he's in an open room. This is where he's in a wide open room.
Yeah.
Nothing's around. Wide open room. And then he doesn't even turn around. It's just all of a sudden, whack. There's a meat cleaver to his face. Blood goes flying into a drink, which they really emphasize.
They really show that one, yeah.
They really wanted to let you know blood got in this drink. And he falls to the ground dead. Ugh.
It's a Bloody Mary.
Pretty good. All right. And then, for some reason, Holla decides to run back into the club.
Yep.
We don't know why.
No reason.
It made way more sense for him to run out of the club,
It
which
did.
was daytime.
Yep.
He runs back in the club when it's nighttime.
Yep. So he runs out and then decides to wait a few hours before running back in, I guess.
Blatantly night and day. And it's supposed to be like maybe a 2-minute difference. He's running back. Maybe he's running back to get people to try and help him or something.
Yeah.
We don't know. But it's clearly night.
It's clearly.
And he's running in there with urgency. So you think that's if run out and you run back in, it's just a couple minutes, maybe a minute, or maybe even 30 seconds. But, if you're coming back and it's nighttime, you probably walk in.
Yeah.
With police or something. But Holla comes back in. He runs back in the club, and the first thing he sees when he walks in the door is fat-ass Rose. Just sitting on the couch looking stoned. She looks like she's on a different planet.
Yeah, she does.
He runs up.
She picked up that leftover weed that Westside Will
no shit.
and Energy were smoking.
This is some good shit.
Good shit. Don't let that go to waste.
Holla runs up to her and he's all, let's get out of here, Rose. Come on, there's something's going on. We gotta go. And Rose is just sitting there and she just pulls out, and then she pulls up her hand and pulls out a knife. Dun, dun.
Yeah.
To no one's surprise, Rose is the killer. She didn't want him to get out. She killed all the other comedians, and it doesn't quite make sense what she's saying. She's saying she didn't want him to get big and to leave, so she started killing people in the club, hoping that he wouldn't go back on stage. Is kind of what I was getting. But he keeps talking over her as she's trying to explain, and I can't understand what the rationale is for her to be killing all these people.
It's kind of, because I thought she was saying I'm killing the people. I was basically killing your competition, the people that were blocking you from getting big again.
But she doesn't want him to get big, so he'll leave and go to LA. She wants him to stay.
Killer.
Yeah. Yes.
She wants the best for him, but at the same time, she doesn't want to be left behind, and in hopes that, I guess, he'll see how much she loves him because of all the stuff that she did for him. So when he does get big, he won't leave her behind. Maybe that's it, but yeah, it's confusing.
Very
it's weird,
insightful.
but it is very contradictory. It's like, I don't want you to get big, but I killed all your competition who were making fun of you and were roadblocking you from getting big.
Very, very
because
insightful.
I can't. So yeah, it's fucking
Good job there, Marshall. So Holla grabs her arm, and with all the urgency, it's basically like she found his phone. It's like, who's texting you? Who the fuck is Rashida? Like he's like grabbing her arm like that. It's not like a life or death struggle.
No.
It's like she found his phone and found text messages from a side piece, and she's like, who the fuck is this? He's just like loosely wiggling around her arm. They're struggling over the knife. She jumps on top of him, and it's too late. Holla takes a knife to the gut, and he's dead. And like the size of the knife and the size of the wound are way out of proportion.
Yeah.
The knife is a very thin, looks like a fish knife, actually, like a filleting knife or something.
Yeah,
and the wound looks like he got shot with a fucking shotgun.
Or a chainsaw hit him.
Massive, huge wound, blood everywhere on his stomach.
Like the only thing that pops, like, okay, we saw one stab, and then what we're seeing is like the aftermath of her going crazy.
But why didn't they use this effect on the shotgun victim on the chest?
I mean, there's like
something?
intestines hanging out.
Yeah.
It is just very unproportional to what we see.
So Rose has killed Holla. Everyone's dead. Rose then goes on stage and monologues a routine.
Yeah.
As it flashes, she's like, boy, I just flew in from New York, and boy, are my arms tired. As it's flashing to the club of all the dead people and all the people that are dead that she's killed. She's laughing at her own jokes and says, comedy's no joke at all. Roll credits. That's Holla.
If I kill you. Yeah, that, holy fuck, this movie.
Jesus goddamn Christ. Where the fuck did you find this? Why did you do this to us? Why didn't we do Blackula? Why didn't we do Killjoy 2? Why didn't we do Blackenstein? Instead we did Holla If I Kill You.
Because we've done Holla 1, Holla 2, I think, another Holla movie.
Cherry on top. I get it. Okay. But fuck. Dude, next year we gotta up our African American.
You realize there's a fourth Holla movie out there? I found when I was researching this one. And it's almost the exact. It's Holla If You Hear Me Kill You.
Oh no!
This one is about. This one's about rappers in a studio.
Same premise.
Pretty much. Hey, remember Rocktober Blood? Well, I was like the rock band in a studio.
Yeah.
It's basically that, just with blacks and rappers. Holla If You Hear Me Kill You.
Oh my god.
Coming next year.
Oh, you son of a bitch. At least we get a year. Oh, god damn it.
Yeah. All right. Let's. So sorry. All right, let's move on to favorite kills.
So many wonderful kills to choose from, but you can only choose one. Them's the rules, Puddin'.
You're not doing anything good for the African American community by exposing people these movies. You realize that, don't you?
I'm setting the movement back. I don't know.
God damn it.
All right, favorite kills, man. This movie sucks, but what do you got this week?
This movie does suck. You know what my favorite kill is? The fucking janitor in the beginning. That's my favorite one. Because at least there was an attempt to show the actual murder. When they cut to the silhouette and the head coming off. Like, you see the axe whack the head. And that part didn't look that bad. But, the weird effect, attempt at the effect, I gotta, like... These guys have no money. They're obviously working with no professionals at all. It's just people who are trying to make this movie. They attempted to make it look like an effect.
Yeah.
It really is shitty, but I appreciate the effort, at least on that one. Where all the other ones were just like editing tricks with editing.
And
so that was
some
my
of the other
favorite.
were so just the same thing. It's just a machete,
Right.
or not machete. It's like meat cleaver to the neck, meat cleaver to the neck, meat cleaver to the face, or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. At least this one cut off a head.
Yeah. Actually, My Favorite Kill's the same one.
Yes.
It's so bad. It's so bad. But at the same time, at least I got a chuckle out of it and how bad it was. And you're right. They at least did try something here.
Yeah.
I still said, but like they should not shown it and gotten better. It would have been better. But they didn't show this bloody stump. But that's still the one I'm going with as my favorite.
Yeah, I just realized something, and I wish I would have mentioned this during the actual podcast. So we start off the movie with the janitor of the club being beheaded. Never found, never discussed, never talked about.
You're right. They don't even talk about it till it's Mike Africa, the quote unquote
who was found.
Yeah.
Lady Caramel, Lady
Caramel, the hip hop
LC, the hip hop heckler hottie.
Yeah.
Is axed down in the parking lot of said club, and she's like being interviewed before the show. She's a personality.
Yeah.
She's never mentioned.
You're
never
right.
talked about.
Not in the news or anything.
Never even. Hey, where's LC?
Yeah.
Nothing.
LC H to the 4th.
Getting a little complex there,
yeah.
but I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Kind of like it.
LC
to the H power 4.
You're right. Like, yeah, the janitor, they just like, fuck, it's just some dumb janitor. Who cares? But yeah, he never goes. They don't mention him. They don't mention
they can't even say, oh, that motherfucker was a no-show today.
Yeah,
something
they didn't
like
even mention that. Like,
nothing.
oh, where he at? He didn't show up.
Yeah, same thing with Lady Caramel. Nothing.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. I didn't even think about that either.
That's we've already established how piss poor the writing is.
Yeah,
but that's just lazy. That's pretty pathetic.
100% correct. All right, let's move on to odds and ends.
Hey there, Puddins! Not only did Mr. M and Mr. A watch this movie, they researched it too. And they say I'm the crazy one.
This will go real quick. Ratings. IMDb gives it a 2.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, it's not even on the site. No surprise there. And Amazon gives it a 1.5 out of 5.
Wow, that may be one of our lowest.
It might be. Yeah, for Amazon.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. Plot keywords, only 5 of them. TV show, murder, comedian, comedy club, and independent film. That's all there is. Trivia, nothing. Budget, nothing. Couldn't find it.
$3,000.
Probably. Or, yeah, who knows. But so that's all I got for that. So let's move on to 5-star reviews.
5 stars? 5 stars? These loonies must be crazier than I am. Lock 'em up.
All right, so now there are none. There are no 5-star reviews for this movie.
Wow.
There's only 3 total reviews on Amazon. All are either 2-star or 1-star reviews.
Jesus. You really scraped.
Yeah.
Scraped that bottom of the barrel.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
We've got to do something more fun next week because
yeah.
The last 2 have just been like,
I don't know, man. This makes Fuzzy Nights look pretty damn good.
Furry Nights looks
Furry
like
Nights,
a fucking
yeah,
masterpiece in comparison to this.
So, and I'll also keep in mind the reviews on Amazon are for the combo DVD that this movie is on. At one point. It does come on. Apparently, it's on a combo DVD too. Ours is not. Ours is just
we just have the movie all by itself.
Yeah, but apparently there's a combo with this movie, another Polonia Brothers one, Peter Rottentail, which is I've actually heard of that. It's the Easter Bunny horror movie.
Can we steer clear of the Polonia Brothers for a little bit?
For a little bit, but we're coming back to them at some point because I think these guys are bound for our Hall of Fame.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
All right, so first up from M. Bartel. This one's actually a 2-star review, but I think this is a 2-star, but it doesn't really matter much. Beware, know what you're buying when you get these. No, now I did in fact know generally what I was getting when I purchased these, but I found that Peter Rottentail did not quite meet my hopes in its cheesy attempt. Holla was just bad. I at least watched Rottentail, but Holla was played on fast forward just to see if anything happens. It didn't. Completionists need only apply here. I appreciate what Polonia Brothers tried to do here. It just wasn't fun a ride for me. I think that was a 2-star. Now, the 1-star reviews are both written by the exact same guy.
Interesting.
Written by Robert Hedges, who is a Hall of Fame reviewer on Amazon, apparently.
Wow.
The problem is, he reviewed the movie twice. And in the second review, he just cut and pasted parts of his first review into his second review.
So do you just want to read?
Just reading this. First of all, the first one was split 50 between, like I say, it's for the combo. So
Gotcha,
the first half is Peter Rontail, which I cut that out. And then he just cut and pasted his review for Holla in his second review, and then I think added a little bit to it at the end. So we're just going to read that last
Lay it
half.
on me, brother.
I decided to watch Holla If I Kill You because it was co-directed by Mark and John Polonia, kings of the extremely low-budget B movie. I should have just burned my money instead. Unlike some of their unintentionally hilarious but always dreadful films, Holla sets out to be both funny and scary and succeeds at neither. You can make an interesting movie on a low budget, and while I didn't expect high art from the brothers Polonia, I didn't expect something this dreadful either. The story follows comedian Holla back, this is all in parentheses, who was once at the top of his game but now can't get a laugh and is constantly booed off stage. These comics and the people surrounding him start being murdered, and despite the total lack of tension, the movie wants us to suspect Holla, even though Holla's creepy, clingy, stalky would-be girlfriend Rose is the only person in position to actually commit the crimes, a point that gets painfully obvious at the end of the film, yet the filmmakers persist with the illusion of suspense. The acting is beyond terrible. Davis is particularly dreadful as Rose. The comedy material is almost unwatchable, and the murders are unscary and provide the unintentional comedy of the film. While I didn't expect much from this film, I thought it might be amusing as a budding camp classic, but some bad movies are too bad to be good, and this is definitely one of them. 1 star. So that's all I could find on Amazon. There wasn't much. I went to IMDb.
Oh, where they write novels.
But these were some of the shorter ones, and none of them, 3 of the 4, there's only 4 reviews on this on IMDb. 3 of the 4 are all 1 out of 10s.
Whoa.
And the 4th one didn't have a star or a rating.
Didn't even want to rate it.
Well, there was no, most of them was like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10. And this one, it was just a review. There was no number score with it. So I just wrote down the 3 1 out of 10s. From It Waterman. Maybe the people at Blockbuster were onto something when they placed this atrocity in the comedy section. Likely being the worst movie I've ever seen. Apart from the movies I've made, so I guess he made some movies, it would be a hallmark of any true horror comedian collection. I must warn the casual viewer, if you are a young, aspiring actor or director, do not see this movie. It will forever stunt your growth as an artist. From the washed out pictures shot with a home video camera to the extras on the DVD, which messed up the title, Holla If I Killed You. So I guess it's killed instead of kill in the DVD mess up.
That's funny.
There is an endless supply of movie-making incompetence to keep even the most jaded bad horror lover entertained. I know I was 1 out of 10. Movie man Kev. Holla back, a once famous comedic, has fallen on hard times. Wherever he goes, people boo him, and a mysterious person is killing off people. Could it be Holla? You know what? With a film this mind-numbingly awful, does anyone really care? Nope, I didn't think so either. I feel angry, mad that I bought this badly acted, horribly lensed, terribly padded, simply putrid movie. If you want to call it that, which I don't, it brings the word down. Sight unseen, I learned my lesson. They say a fool and his money are soon parted. Well, if you buy or rent this crap, you deserve to lose your money, fool. Holla if you hear that. And lastly, from Thaddeus. Okay, first you gotta understand, I love bad movies. I live for bad movies. I watched Manos Hands of Fate several times without the Mystery Science Theater 3000 involved. This movie just sucked at the teat of horrible and was the rancid milk breath to prove it. I never got bored. I promised myself on never getting bored. I was looking for things to do halfway in. The jokes are kind of sad. One usually reserved for describing an 80-year-old strip. The jokes are kind of sad. One usually reserves for describing an 80-year-old stripper's tits. The killer is always in a trench and always appears to be like 6 feet and 175 pounds and turns out to be a 5'6" fat woman. It has the pace and action of a race between a quadriplegic turtle and a dead old lady on a walker. Honestly, if you ever have a chance to see this movie, kill yourself or watch paint dry. Maybe clean out your nails or something. Revenue from insurance papers, all will be more exciting. Review some insurance papers, all will be more exciting and funny. 1 out of 10.
Ouch.
Yeah. That's
Ouch.
like the roughest we've really seen.
Ouch.
So that brings us to our final thoughts. Take it away, my man.
I'm going to start with the positives.
Okay.
I don't hate the premise. I don't hate it. I think it's actually pretty clever. How many movies have there been made about like comedians bombing and like getting so upset or possibly so upset that they would kill hecklers or other comedians or, you know, things like that. That was the impression we got when the movie first kind of started. I don't dislike that premise. I think it's interesting. It's unique. You know, it is. But they just failed on every level to deliver what they intended to. The acting was really bad. I mean, Holla wasn't horrible. He wasn't the worst actor, but everyone around him was just really bad. And the production quality just hurt every part of it, aspect of it. Some of the reviewers said, you know, that was the unintentional comedy is the, you know, part of the charm of a horror, you know, of a low budget horror movie is seeing the cheesy effects and the bad acting and things like that. But when the sound is so bad, you can't understand what's being said at points. That's neither charming nor cute. It's just annoying, you know, and it hurts. But god damn, was this movie bad. Just bad all around. Bad execution. I know they're trying to do splicing in the comedy guys with the movie, trying to get some exposure and like maybe could sell some more because boy, even though he's not a great comedian, they're so, you know, fucking what's his name? Will Savise or Arnold Acevedo or Mark Yard may have a little bit of a following and maybe they'll buy this movie. But fuck, did that fail. That combination of doing stand-up with a horror movie spliced in, it's just pathetic. It was just so bad. We already pointed out the faults, the bad parts, you know, just why the writing was just so piss poor. So bad it's scary. I just almost feel bad for them. Even the cover is so pathetic. Yeah. It's so bad. They have a silhouette of a man holding a microphone in one hand and a knife in the other, and it just says, "Holla if I kill you." Their graphic design is pathetic. Everything about this movie is pretty pathetic. Fuck this movie. Die in fire.
Wow. That's intense. Die in fire.
Fire.
You know what? I really can't go against anything you said. I do actually agree with you. I didn't even think about it, but I can agree with you. The premise is unique and something we haven't seen before, and I think there could be something there. I do like that. But you're right. Everything about its execution was just absolutely abysmal. I can't really say anymore. Yeah, I agree. Burn, die in fire, man. And honestly, that's giving me. I might take this movie out and just set it on fire when I'm over couch.
Well, if you do, film it.
Yeah. I do not watch this movie, man. This is.
Or do it in a dramatic way, like shoot it with a flaming round from like from Resident Evil.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. It's bad. I can't even. I don't even know what more to say. Like I'm trying to think. This might be my contender for next year's tournament winner, or actually no. I think it squeezed in this year. It could be this year's tournament winner because it's right now. I'm not sure which one's worse. This or No Mercy. And honestly, I think I'd rather watch No Mercy.
I would rather watch No Mercy
than
also.
This one. So this right now be the front runner for the crown to win this year's tournament, which is coming up, fellas. So so keep an eye out for that. We're starting our horrible horror March Madness tournament of awfulness really very, very soon. So yeah, definitely So Bad Scary. I'll make it official. So Bad Scary. Don't watch this. I think it's terrible.
I mean, you have to go out of your way.
Yeah.
Like really far out of your way.
It's not worth the effort.
to get this.
Yeah.
And buy this. And you know, we've talked about doing a giveaway soon, and we need to.
Yeah.
Our 200th episode's coming up in a couple months.
Yep.
So we
couple months, more like a few weeks.
Yeah.
This
really.
is like 193? 394? So just a few weeks.
Yeah.
We'll have
couple months. You know.
We'll see.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully not a couple months, but yeah.
Because if it's number 4, so shit, Jesus Christ.
We'll say it's 6
almost
weeks
2
at
months.
most.
Almost 2
month
months.
and a half.
Yeah.
If we don't have any more delays.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. 200th is we maybe do something for 200.
Yeah, and you can win. Holla if I kill you. Aren't you fucking excited?
Yes.
Aren't you pumped?
That'll be part
what
of
do you
the
think, Moon
prize
Goons? It's great, right? Shit.
All right, that does it for this episode. Thanks for listening. We love you guys. We'll be back very soon.
If you hear me.
We'll be back soon with another terrible horror movie. So in the meantime, remember to watch more horror and remember to always keep it tight.